So yeah, I've whacked it on. So even though I've done this, now I still never know how to start them because it's like imagine going onto stage and being like, right, I'm starting the comedy in three, two,
Yeah,
one. You lose them straight away.
yeah, yeah.
So I think it's best just to press it and then saying that. No, I've just used this fucking script three times over. So yeah, it's still the same shit. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Sit Down for Stand Up. You guys asked me to get more promoters and venues on because you like to hear, from their perspective. So, me being a slave to the industry and beckoning for your every call, I've succumbed to it. And, we've got a lot of London ones on now, so we might as well go to the more unfunnier. I'm joking. I think I love Northern comedy.
You're gonna
Um,
start a war.
I'm already going to piss you off. So we'll go from a perspective. So I'm literally going to take. Ugh, fuck me. I'm going to lose the reins already. I have with me a guy called Reece Barnes who runs a night called Parkas and Punchlines. How's it going, Reece? We good, brother?
Very well, mate. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Got the big mug. Third coffee of the day. Like
I can tell.
honestly, like yeah, I've never had such shit like charcoal, but you got to get through, haven't you? Anyway, to
Exactly.
piece today. So, Reece, tell me, we'll go straight into it. Parkers and Punchlines. What is it?
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's basically a spin on Manchester culture and a bit of comedy mixed into it. So, Parkas and Punchlines. We put on gigs all around Manchester. Mainly, couple. We do quite a lot for charity. So we've raised probably a combined total of about £2,000 for different charities so far over four gigs, and then we do paid nights and basically just trying to build a bit more positivity into the comedy scene at the moment and try and build up, especially where I'm from in Bury, just outside Manchester. There's absolutely nothing, so I'm hoping to be the founder of the scene basically in my hometown.
Okay, and then, why did we start Parkers and Punchlines? What was, like the agenda behind it?
So it was a very drunken idea.
Talking to
I
yourself.
went to Hot Water Comedy Club for a Zoe's Place fundraiser, which was a baby hospice in Liverpool that was closing down. They needed to raise X amount of money in 4 weeks, otherwise they wouldn't be able to give life-saving care to the kids anymore. So, uh, especially like the comedy community in the Northwest really rallied round, like Adam Road, Dan Nightingale, all the big names sort of rallied round and did a fundraiser. And then me, being the drunken idiot that I am, went to that fundraiser and was like, do you know what? I'll have a pop at this. So I basically was sat there steaming drunk, rang a bar that I used to work at and was like, can I put on a show next week? And they went, yeah. And then there was a 6 day countdown to raise money, sell tickets, book acts, and do everything for the first time. So that was stressful. And then we raised quite a bit of money. They basically offered me the room whenever I wanted it. Put on a second show a couple of months later. That went really well. Another pub from Bury was in the audience. They asked me to start putting on shows every month. From that gig, one in Stockport's now got in touch with me, so I've expanded to Stockport, and then we've got loads of different ones around Manchester that are getting in touch now. So it's just
It's mad
organically
snowballs.
grown.
It's mad. So, would you say from your part there was a bit of naivety thinking what goes into running a night?
I'd say more arrogance of. I'd say, I'd say it's just I've always had a thing of if they can do it, why can't I?
Yes.
That's why I started comedy in the first place because I used to go frog and bucket every week. So I was like, oh, they can get on stage and talk nonsense to people. Why can't I do it? So it's just yeah. And then once you start getting into it, you realise there's a bit more that goes into this than just sticking a microphone at the front of a venue and putting some chairs out. Like it's
Yeah.
there's quite a bit that goes into it, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot more work, but it's so rewarding when the night goes well. Like it's amazing.
Well, I can see for only going for 2 months, your social media presence is already, fantastic.
Yeah,
But
it's called obsession. Like, same as you though, but you've only been going what a month, and you're
uh,
absolutely smashing the
tw-
game at the moment.
cheers, bro. 24th of June, I started this.
You are
So
smashing the game, lad.
cheers, brother. Yeah. I mean, you just got to find something you're passionate about, and then you know,
Go
I
all
always
in.
they say find something you love and then never work a day in your life. I believed that until I started it, and then It just seems like it's not quite true. Like all I'm doing is working twice as much. So,
Yeah.
with Parks and Punchlines, is it sort of an open? You say there was sort of it is a new comedy night, but then you also have now moved on to paid work as well.
Yeah, so we've got there's a couple. I've met a lot of venues. So the ones that are regular nights at the moment, we're doing one-offs around Bury and stuff like that. But I've got the Bay Horse in Whitefield, which is just outside Manchester. They were the first one that offered us money. So like the rest of them, with my old bar, they don't charge me. I don't charge them, and every single time I put it on, pretty much it's for charity because especially in the local area, I just wanted to raise money for charity. The last gig that we did raised £1,600 for Veterans Foundation. So
Amazing.
like amazing. Like, and for me, it's I could pay an act 15 quid to come down and perform, or we could all raise 1,600 quid and you get a great night where everyone's up for it. So that's sort of how I weighed it up. But so I've got one venue that is a paid gig on a Saturday, and then we've just got our first show that's coming up now in Stockport. And that's a Tuesday night, and that's also a paid gig. So not only are we offering paid work at the weekend, I've now got weekday gigs to be able to actually offer. Because as you know, as a comedian, trying to find paid work during the week is
Oh,
like trying to find a unicorn in the wild. Like, it's just
a hundred,
impossible.
100%. Yeah, is non-existent. So I don't know if this does transcribe up north. I mean, I know the answer, being from London and you being from Manchester. Are your events bringer events, or do you not have to bring anyone? Can you just apply and rock up?
Is this a clean podcast?
Let me say, do you know what?
Okay.
First of all,
Hell no.
no, 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 no. I think the only thing we can't joke about is children.
No, I was just going to say, kind of swear.
Oh, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off,
Yeah, yeah.
fuck,
So
fuck.
ask me
I
that
mean, swear
question
away,
again.
brother, swear away.
Ask me that
Right,
question again.
pardon?
Ask me the question again then. Am I a bringer night?
Oh, you
Fuck
a bringer
no.
like Reece.
Fuck no. It's a southern fantasy that means people don't have to get off their ass and do some fucking promotion for themselves, mate. Like I'm completely against bringer nights. I don't like them. I think I'm getting my point across enough, but it is not for me. I feel like if you want to come to a comedy night and you're passionate about comedy, come to one of my nights. I'm not gonna make you chain a comedian chain someone to their side and bring them to one of my gigs and sit there not asked about the comedy with a face like a slapped ass. Like, it is not for me. I don't like it, and yeah, I will never. This might get clipped up and sent back to me when I can't promote my gigs and I start doing it. But I will hopefully never put on a bringer night
I,
ever.
I absolutely applaud that, man. I absolutely applaud that. So I will go on that one step further then. If there are no, chains, no barriers, what etiquette would you expect from a comedian coming to performing at one of your places?
So for me, because I do quite a lot for charity, if there's something to do with that charity, don't don't bring the charity up. Don't bring like so for the last one it was Veterans Foundations. I don't want jokes about the army. I don't want jokes about anything to do with it or stuff like that. And it was for a local lad who passed away. So I said no jokes about that. I was like anything else goes. I said it's comedy. I'm not going to censor you. I genuinely believe comedy should be the comedian's choice to push the limit. And if they step over the boundary, it's your problem, all right? And that's my thing on it. But as far as it just be turn up ready to gig. Don't
Okay.
come and half-ass it. If you're turning up to a gig, give it your all. And yeah, just and don't be a twat. That's the other rule. Just be nice to the other comedians. Don't just go on, do your set, support the other comedians, and actually have a community around it where we actually support each other. Because I know it's quite a dog eat dog world, the stand up, but it winds me up.
I would say it is and it isn't. Whilst everyone is out for each other, I do think, especially with a lot of the comedians I'll speak to up north, there is a comradeship as well. You're
Yeah,
all
I feel
you're all
like
in it together, but obviously you want to be the best. You want to be the
yeah,
best that night, but you'll drive each other to gigs and you will do help each other out. And I think
so
that's
like For me personally, like, so I'll give some shout outs. So, like, there's a guy called Liam Alexander. So, on my second open mic, I did, looking back on it now,
Was this your personal one or Parker's?
just me
Okay,
personally.
cool. Yeah,
So,
go on.
this is how it started with him. So, I did an open mic called Thirsty Scholar
Yeah,
in Manchester. And Liam Alexander, he'd been going about 2 years at the time, and he was getting quite a big name. He puts on shows at Hot Water and other things like that. I did the gig, and about 4 minutes in, I fluffed my last punchline on my third gig, and my head went. And like I sat there and I was spiraling. I left early, went home, and was like, I'm never doing comedy again. I was like, that was horrible. He personally found me on Instagram, messaged me privately, and was like, please don't give up. He was like, you're really good. Just keep going. He was like, it's one gig. And then from there, when I put on my first gig, he was the one going, if you need help, let me know. I've got this, I've got that. I can give you speakers, whatever you need, I can help you promote. From that one, then he was the one who encouraged me then to put on another gig. And then he's the one ever since. Like, I had a headliner that couldn't get back from Scotland on my first paid gig. So I needed it to go well. He was hosting, and I went, Liam, I need a massive favour. I was like, is there any chance you can now headline as well as do your host? And obviously, he got double fee, but that isn't the point. He went straight on. He did an extra 20 minutes at the end. He roofed the gig. And then ever since, he's been so, like, there's a reason you'll see his name on a lot of my gigs, like, because he's genuinely helped me out a lot. There's people like Natalia Schwartz in the game. She does so much for like women's comedy in Manchester. She puts on her own, it's called Bitches and Stitches. She puts on her own all-female lineup, and she's always championing females. And it's like there's so many good people on the scene. And like if you're willing to turn up without an ego, willing to accept when someone knows more than you and take that advice on board, everyone will help. It's only if you come in with an attitude of I know everything or I'm better than this that I think that's when people get the backup. But for me personally, I've had no issues with anyone. Like, I genuinely, even my mates who I started with, they've got their own company called Laughing Stock.
yeah.
I think people expect us to be like United and City and going at each other. And if anything, it's, well, oh, we've had this act on and they smashed it, so you should get them on. Or like we can test acts out for each other and pass it on, and we're supporting each other, and we're going on radio stations, giving each other shout outs. And there's room in the game for everyone.
Yeah.
But it's not as saturated as people like to make out a lot of the time. If you're willing to put the work in, like you've probably found out, if you're willing to put the work in, graft and just grind it out, you'll get somewhere. Like, and that's what you need. As Manchester, we've got a there's a saying in Manchester, we do things differently in Manchester. Like, we've got a bit of a chip on our shoulder, and the Manchester scene at the moment is thriving. Like, especially the Northwest, Liverpool and Manchester are absolutely smashing it at the moment. Like, and
I'm looking to move up, or I'm basically I'm leaving London in 2027, and I'm looking to move up north. And
mate,
I
I'll have
am
a
in
bucket out and a parker
contemplation.
waiting for you.
I'm in contemplation between Manchester or going out all the way up to Inverness, because Inverness doesn't have one comedy club.
So yeah, if you wanna change it and
That's
establish
not.
yourself, like get up there. But if you want a thriving scene
Mm,
where you can be part of something special anywhere in the northwest, yeah. If you
mm,
live in Manchester or Liverpool, you're only an hour away from each other anyway. Like, that's what's
exactly.
absurd about the hatred between the two cities. We're only an hour away from each other, and the
Yeah.
scene is so great that like you can pop over on a train, be back within a couple of hours or an hour's drive, and you've got endless amounts of gigs that you can be going to, especially like open mics and stuff like that. Like,
Mm.
Manchester's got pretty much an open mic every night. I think Liverpool's got an open mic every night, and then there's so many shows and everything else going on that genuinely, like, I feel like for a long time for comedians you had to either go down south or there was no option. Whereas now, I think a lot of Southerners are going, "Fuck it, we need to get up north." Like,
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of people on this pod, and I've heard all different perspectives of people. Women running women only nights. How you've got to be careful what you say because you could offend people, or if you're a man and there's a woman on after you, don't do content about belittling women because it can demean the person next to you. And I mean,
my
I
argument with that is
understand
if you
all
can't say it
angles.
in front of them, you
Yeah,
shouldn't be saying it at all.
yeah. I understand all angles, but I do think freedom of speech, is just so policed at the moment down south. So it is refreshing too when I speak to people from the north that it is say what you want as long as you're not being a cunt about it.
Yeah, and Ricky Gervais said it best. He's like, as long as you can justify the joke and explain why it's funny and dissect it, that's fine. And like, I'm not here to tell someone what is and what isn't funny. Like, I find, like, I'm not a massive Stuart Lee fan, but I also know Stuart Lee's incredible at comedy. But whereas I love Kevin Bridges, and I
Yes.
know a lot, and Kevin Bridges caters to basically everyone's palate. Like, but
Yeah.
Stuart Lee, like, I remember Noel Gallagher's quote about it was about Fleetwood Mac, and he was like, in order to listen to Fleetwood Mac, you have to be a massive guitar nerd. He said to listen to Oasis, you just have to enjoy music. And I feel like that's similar to like to Stuart Lee. You really have to understand comedy and understand what he's dissecting. With a lot of comedy, you don't need that, and there's nothing wrong with one or the other. Like you've
Yeah.
just got to be able to justify it. But I feel like with a lot of stuff like that, if you can't perform the subject matter in front of who the subject matter is about, then it isn't funny to begin with for me. Like you shouldn't be making joke if like say you have a joke that includes Christianity. If there's a Catholic in the audience and you're going, oh, I won't do that joke tonight. Well,
Mm.
maybe you shouldn't be doing that joke at all because if you can't make them laugh with it, then maybe you shouldn't be even bringing up that subject matter to start with. That's my own personal opinion,
No,
anyway.
I wholeheartedly agree. I do think where it's come from. So, say if you had a joke about, let's say example, a cancer joke, absolutely
Mhm.
fine, absolutely fine. But if you said, right, who in the audience has cancer? This one's for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just being a knobhead, isn't it?
that's being a knobhead for the sake of being a knobhead. So,
Yeah.
when it comes to bringing having performers on at Parkers and Punchlines, what process do you go to decide if you want to bring someone on or not?
So my personal, and this doesn't go for everyone in Manchester. Everyone has their own different way of doing it. For me personally, I want to try and promote the Manchester scene as much as I can. So for me, it's are you active on the Manchester comedy scene? Have I seen you before? Um, and just have I heard good things? So it's like even on my last show, I had someone who's only done 3 gigs. So it's not even like a how long have you like when you see not for beginners, not for newbies, like not for notes. I have the Skybar gig in Bury. I basically have 10 to 12 comedians on and I offer 10 slots to start for like experienced acts and there's 5 slots and I don't it's just who applies, I'll pick the names and I'll put them on. There's no like bias towards it or anything like that. My only criteria is one, be funny, two, be ready to come down and enjoy it. And
Mm.
three, ideally be local to the Northwest. So don't have to be from the Northwest, but be active on the Northwest scene because there's if I don't want the amount of times I've gone to Beat the Frog and it's full 6 Southerners that are on the bill that are all been going 5 years and won New Comedian of the Year 5 times, and then they're coming up and there's a guy who's doing his first gig. I don't personally agree with that. The Frog and Bucket are a great comedy club, and I'm not slagging them off or anything. But
100%.
my personal opinion for my gigs is just I want you to be local to the scene because my biggest thing is I want to be a builder of the scene, not a taker from the scene, basically. So as long as you're active in the comedy scene up north, in Manchester, Liverpool, or around the surrounding areas, I'm happy to have you on my gigs no matter what.
I mean that's brilliant. I mean I don't want to do like the north east south comparison, but I applied for a 5 minute non-paid spot in London, and they came back saying we only accept professional comedians running 250 gigs.
Yeah, so yeah,
That's
like
a 5 minute unpaid spot. Like I have to have 250 gigs under my belt. It's like it just contradicts itself. So yeah, that was just my little flame moment there. So when it comes to like doing a bill, open mic. Actually, I want to go back to Gong Show in a second because I've got my opinions on that also. I love a Gong Show. I'll do that one first actually. So
cool.
it's interesting that you say you don't want people coming in who have done who are already killers on the set coming from the south, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. I do, however, think do every gig once. So I would love to come up to Manchester and try it once.
Mate, you're
But that's
welcome
as a
to.
new comedian, not when
Yeah.
I'm 5, 6 years in, and
No.
more established. Like
Yeah.
you're taken away from a newer comedian.
Well, yeah, it's like Paul Scholes turning up on a Sunday league. Like, there's
That's your
absolutely.
go-to. That's your okay, fair. You're showing your United colours a little bit on that one, but
But no, I just feel like if you've been going 5 or 6 years and you're entering new act competitions, I mean, where's the competition? Like,
mm,
so like when I did Beat the Frog, I'd done 12 gigs. Like, sorry, I'd done 16 gigs, and that was like 14 open mics and 2 paid slots.
yeah,
And then I did Beat the Frog. And if anything, people were telling me 10 gigs before to be going on Beat the Frog, and they'll go,
yeah.
"Oh, you're leaving it late," and then you turn up and you get beaten by someone who's been doing it 5 years, and you Google them and they've won New Comedian of the Year, and you go, "Well,
Doesn't make sense.
where's the fairness in that?" Like,
How
I
did
just,
how did you do on Beat the Frog?
I did. I didn't get a single card, and they actually I think the timer broke, so they ended up leaving me on for about 7 minutes, and I only had 5 minutes of material by that point. So 2 minutes was just me waffling, waiting to a fireball, and then walk off the stage. But it went really well, and I think the thing that Beat the Frog offers, it doesn't matter whether you win. It doesn't matter whether you get to play to a full comedy club
Yeah.
full of people. It's a bear pit. Don't get me wrong. It's not as
Oh,
bad as like a couple of others, but it can be a bear pit. You
yeah.
don't know what you're going to expect, and I feel like I kept before it. I've never felt anxiety like it, like because I did the comedy course. The reason I got into comedy was through the Frog and Bucket, so I owe the Frog and Bucket
Yeah.
pretty much everything for me getting in. I did the comedy course there, so I'd been on that stage before. I knew about the lights. I knew how sweaty it is when you get on. I know just make sure you get up the stairs without decking it. Like the
Yeah.
little simple thing. I know the mic stand already, and I
Mm.
know it can be a bit funny to get the mic out. Little things like that. And even then, I was still crapping my pants. Stood there, and I went on last. So I've then stood there for the entire thing and watched the crowd get rowdier and rowdier throughout the night. And then you go on, and it feels like that. Like
Yeah.
you do your material, and it flies by, and the crowd were amazing. I got no cards. I came off and I was absolutely buzzing. And I think for me, like, it's just a great experience of getting on stage to, like, where else are we going to go on and play to 150 people?
Exactly. I
That's,
mean, my first ever gig was Comedy Store in London. Open
wow.
their show. I've said it so many times on the pod. I applied at 5 p.m. that day. They got back at like half 5, 6, saying we had a couple of dropouts tonight. Come along, and hadn't even started writing material yet. So I just went
How
on. I
did it
lasted a
go?
minute 23, but I think they gave me a minute 22 sympathy. I said it's the first ever time, and then there's a 1 second realistic there, like, hey, well, actually, let's fuck him off now. But
Yeah.
it went so well. So when it comes to running your night, how do you decide, who goes where on the bill?
So I'm quite fair with it because obviously with the Berry gig, it's a bit out of the way of Manchester. So I'm appreciative people might not want to wait till 10:30 at night to get back to Manchester. So I'll basically just put a list out. I pick who gets what slot. So like I'll send messages to people and I'll go, right, are you up for this? It's 10 minutes sound. And then I will strategically place I want a 10-minute opener, I want a 10-minute closer of the first section, I want a 10-minute opener of the second section. Because then I know the section's going to end with someone who's relatively good, and the second section is going to start off well. Everything else in between, and I can still let them pick. They've got a choice of 3 slots then. The rest of them are all 5 minutes. I just put the list down and I go, I've sorted everything out. This room is packed full of people. The only thing I want you to do is write your name down on the slot that you wish to perform. And that's it. And with other gigs, with the paid gigs where it means a bit more, and you're having to work out fees and stuff like that and different fees, I'll pick the running order. So it's usually so, like for example, the headliner on the Plough in 2 weeks is Jacob Cohen. He's someone that I've watched over the last 18 months go from strength to strength to strength, and he's never headlined in Manchester before. So I messaged him and was just like, "I want you to headline my gig." I was like, "You're headlining," and he's buzzing with it. And then I've got another guy who's been going same time as me called Jordan Mack. So I was like, right, I want you opening because I know I've gigged with you. You're solid. Yeah, midnight. And then, sorry, I've got a cat next to me. And then, like, the middle is me and a girl called Molly Robb. And Molly's absolutely smashing the game as well. She actually won the wild card on my Beat the Frog night. So she beat me to the wild card. So it's like you just work out the flow. As depends what acts you've got. You don't want two similar acts straight after each other. So you try and mix it up a little bit, and like especially the host as well. Just picking a host that you know. Like for example, with the Veterans Foundation one, I knew it was going to be a bit of a rough gig, as in emotional, because it was for a lad who's just died, and it needed someone with a pair of balls between the legs to be able to handle the crowd. And Liam just straight away was just on it, settled him down. I did make a mistake of not putting myself first because I knew the room, and I felt bad because one of our comedians, like it was a bear pit, and they just weren't letting him speak or anything. So I went on straight after and just settled the crowd down. I was just like, I know you all. And even at the end, I was like, you need to shut up. If you can't shut up, you need to leave. And it's just a crowd control, who's got the most experience, who you think will handle certain parts of the gig. And you just learn with experience. Like it's bit by bit. You sort of learn the game a little bit with each gig that you put on. The open spot has to go well. The opener needs to go well. The headliner needs to smash it, and the middles, like the work's been done for you. Just go on, do your set, and hope for the best. Basically, I feel like the middle spot's quite a nice spot to be in.
Okay, so what would you do? You know, you have someone on and they absolutely not tank it, but they piss off the crowd.
Um,
How would you deal with that? You know, like boos, like actually booing, get the fuck off is just doing the worst. You know,
that
like
must be a southern thing because I've never seen that up north. I'll be honest. I feel like up north, a lot of them that will secretly whisper each other, "This guy's shit." But I don't think I can never. I don't think I'll ever put on a show where someone gets booed or anything like that. The thing is, as well, you know this. The comedian already knows they've bombed. You don't even when we do well, we think we've done shit.
yeah,
So I don't need to. I don't need to come on and do a Fergie hairdryer when he leaves the stage and like tell him he's never going to gig in this town again and do all that sort of crap. Like it's just you just work with him and you just say like, look, you just accept it. Really, I don't. I feel like I'll never ever go at comedian for going up on stage and trying. As long as
yeah,
you've tried. If he goes up there and half-asses it and he's not interested and
mm,
has a pop at the audience and like, then yeah, I'm gonna have a word.
yeah,
But as long as they're trying and
mm,
everyone's and they're putting the graft in and they've genuinely tried the best and it's just not gone well, just let them have it. Like
yeah,
it's one of them. They'll still get paid. They'll still get as long as there's not a pattern of it, I'll probably still
mm,
book you again and hope that you've got new material that'll work. And if I know you're good, I know you're good. It's just you've had a bad gig. But yeah, I don't. I feel like as long as I don't feel like the crowd, and sometimes the crowd are wrong. I know it's not a
yeah,
popular opinion amongst people, but sometimes the crowd don't understand that the scene's somewhat good. They just don't like the type of humour that they've got. And that is what it is. I probably won't book them for that gig again, but if I knew a room was more suited to them, I'd book them in that room instead. And you just pick who you know can handle the crowd, and you just
yeah.
got to play the room you're in, haven't you?
100. I mean, speaking, I know we mentioned off camera Kai Carson. You know, absolutely. I keep getting his name wrong, isn't it? It's like, but
He's
absolutely, lad.
fantastic.
He's a top lad, and he said to me, and I've taken what he said to me on board. Like with like a comedian, you know, if they don't do that well on stage, all that, you don't need to kick them when they're down, unless they have an ego about it.
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah,
happy days.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we all know when it hasn't gone well, but you know, if we go off being like, oh, crowd's fucking shit, or you know, or fucking smash that, you know, it's like, well, you know, let's come back to earth a bit. But you know, we are all in this together, sort of
When
stuff.
9 people out of 10 have smashed the gig and you're blaming the crowd,
Yeah, of course.
you
So,
know what I mean? But to
yeah.
be fair, as a little side note, so Kai was the MC at my worst ever gig. So
Oh, what a bastard. You know, I'm taking everything back I said about him.
no.
What
So
a...
he was actually amazing. So I died, right? That's the only gig I've ever done. So it was a Wednesday at Comedy Balloon in Manchester, the longest open mic. There was 4 people in the audience that night. All 4 of them were meant to go to a music gig that got cancelled. They're
Oh,
already pissed off. They come to the comedy and go, "Oh, we'll just turn up." and they just were not in the mood and
Yeah.
anything, right? And they were just giving nothing. And even Kai was like proper give me a big up, and he was like, this guy's local to the scene. He's like, let's give him a massive round of applause. Reece Barnes, and nothing. And even Kai went, you can at least give him a clap before he comes on stage. And then I came off, and that would have been a perfect time. If Kai was a knob and he wanted to put me down, he'd have broke me that day. And Kai just came straight up to me as soon as the next act was on. Kai pulled me to the side and he just went, this room is just a write-off tonight. He was like, that material will work. It needs work. This is what you should do. And Kai really broke stuff down for me as well. So like, just as a little shout out to him, he could have done what we're talking about and put me down, but he didn't. And he actually bigged me up and gave me a boost. So fair play to him.
I've trolled him a little bit. I can't lie to you because I called him a scouse, and he was, oh no, I'm not a scouse because you've got to be born in Liverpool to be a scouse.
Yeah, is he a wall?
I think he's just south of it. So on his title, I have put Scouse comedian. So when he sees that, hopefully I get a hate
technically
message.
a man.
Yeah, but you got to do your silent little trolls to see.
Yeah, and plus comedy, like let's try and be funny because we're in the comedy game.
Try is the hardest bit, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly.
So say if you get a comedian who applies for one of your paid spots and you've never seen them before, so they send you a video, 10-minute video, they absolutely kill it. All right, let's get this person on. Would you want them to do the material they sent you, or is that validation enough?
I don't care. Like for me, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I just feel like I'm not that type of person. I believe in the comedian should have the freedom to do what the comedian thinks is right. Okay? So I don't police you. I don't want to police you. Um, and yeah, there'll be certain subject matters depending on what the gig is for that I'll be like, if you have a joke about this, I don't want to hear it. Like simple as that. Like don't do it. But anything else goes. And like that's it. That's only when I'm saving you from the audience. I'm saving you from turning the audience on its head, and you're not going to recover. And I'm going to have to shield you out of this rough ass pub in Bury. So like, and not a rough out, but like
I know what you mean. Yeah,
So like,
there are sensitive topics.
yeah. So as long as you're not doing that, but if you send me a clip and I think you're good, I don't like. I've not been in the game. I'm obsessed with comedy. I've been obsessed with comedy since I was 8 year old. I feel like I know comedy inside out. I might not be the best writer and performer at the moment, but I can. I'm quite good at spotting comedians who are good and things like that. I don't want you to turn up and me being like a football manager giving you tactics of what way you should put your thing and we're going to do this today. Go on stage, be funny, get a laugh, come off, happy days. That's all I want from you. Like,
well, I don't know. I'm relating to this, but it's like Simon Cowell's a shit singer, but you can't say you can't spot a good singer.
yeah, and that's the thing that I think people struggle with promote. Like you don't have to be amazing at something to be able to manage it, direct it, or do it. Like Steven Spielberg isn't an actor, but he's an incredible director. Like I feel like for putting on comedy, like as long as I can tailor the bill to where I think everyone will get the best reaction, the rest is up to you. And I don't believe in censoring people or telling them how they should be doing the set or anything like that. You're the comedian, like it's your job to do what you need to do and crack on. Like as long as you're funny, I do not care. Like just try and be funny and give it your all and happy days.
As long as you give it your all. Like I say, if you come on half-ass, like
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I
I'm
also
not
know
doing
that
you the favour, you're not doing me the favour. It's
yeah,
a
exactly.
mutual agreement.
And I know there's low status and high status, and some like when I first started, because I've got an incredibly boring voice. So like I know I'm from the same place as Gary Neville, so tells you everything you need to know. So like I'd go on, and I didn't used to be very high energy, whereas now that I'm getting more confident, there's more energy coming from me. But if I started and someone was like, "You half-assed that," I'd have been like, "I didn't. I'm just nervous." Like, so as you can tell when someone just doesn't want to be there, and it's like, "Why have you even shown up?" But even if you're just a bit more low status and a bit more melodic with your voice and stuff, that's fine. It's just don't come and interact with the other comedians. Right, that's the biggest thing as well. Actually, have a chat with the other comedians. Don't stand on your own. I know, like, and if you're a comedian that notices someone on their own, they might just be nervous. So why don't you approach the one and just say, Nice to meet you, mate. I'm Reece. And
Have a
yeah,
chat with them.
just as long as you're all being sound with each other, there shouldn't be any issues. And at the end of the day, most of us aren't getting paid. And if we are getting paid, it's not a lot. And none of us are making a living right now, a lot of us. So why don't we just turn up, have a laugh, enjoy it, and everyone gets on with each other? That's my biggest thing, is just I want every show people to leave and go, the crowd to go, that was fucking good. And the
Yeah.
comedians to go, I'd love to play there again.
Yeah. Oh, wholeheartedly. I mean, one thing I've noticed I'll say a couple of things actually quickly. One thing, before I got into comedy, we looked at all the greats, all the professionals, and I thought, oh, open mic sort of circuit level, oh, that'd be easy. The level of caliber on open mic still is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like some people are absolutely fantastic and they're absolutely killing it. So, even at this level is absolutely brilliant. So then here's my follow-up question. Do you think since you've hosted and promoted and run your own night, your comedic capabilities have come a long way? Or do you
Um,
feel it has refrained you from getting as much stage time as you wanted because you got to run a night?
So for me personally at the moment, the way I'm looking at it is I don't drive at the moment, and that's massively holding me back. So I
Mm,
can't, and I have a job where I work late and I work earlys, and I get a
yeah.
rota at the end of the month. So for me, planning 3 months ahead is impossible. Getting to Birmingham on a Tuesday night is impossible.
Mm,
So, and obviously trying to work it around my shift patterns, because if I'm on an early, I can't be in Birmingham till 10 o'clock at night, and if I'm on a late, then I'm not available to do the gig. So for me, the way I looked at it was this year was just I'm going to focus on building Parkas and Punchlines and putting on
yeah.
my own gigs and building that to a level where I know I can take it.
Mm,
In the meantime, still trying to gig as much as I can. But for me personally, I can't gig as much and as far as I need to.
mm,
So my main focus is just right. Well, I can build this whilst getting my driving license and whilst you know
yeah.
aiming to work things around my schedule a bit more. But it is probably taking up a lot more time. So like the other day, I had to basically put my phone down and was like, stop making posters, stop doing the posts,
Yeah.
stop messaging people. I was like, you're going to spend 6 hours sat at this table writing a 10-minute set. So
Yeah.
like I sat there the other day and I spent 6 hours writing that I'm going to perform tonight for Andy Bell's gig. And that was like the first time I'd sat down and written in a month, which other people are writing every single day. And it's like, for me, I was like, right, I'm just going to have to spend 6 hours and just write a 10-minute set and go out there and balls to the wall, try it, and then see what's next. But yeah, it probably is, it's hindering, if anyone else if I drove, had a job where I could work it around a lot easier and everything else, it'd be holding me back massively. But for the position I'm in at the moment, it's like, right, I'm going to build this to a level where I'm still performing on my own gigs. I'm still getting different gigs around Manchester, but I'm also building something that ultimately I can then take to the next level anyway. So for me, I'm happy managing both at the moment. There will come a stage where I'll have to either bring someone else on board or try and limit as how much I'm doing. But for now, yeah, it's just a juggling act, as you probably know. With this, you're probably
100%.
doing the
100%.
exact same.
I was saying to someone the other day, I was like, I haven't wrote in about 2 weeks. And I was like, I've got like on my phone, I've probably got like so
Yeah,
many
yeah,
like
you've got the
keywords and bits
line.
like that. But I haven't actually put it onto, my one word document, which is now 52 pages of
Yeah,
written stuff. Like
yeah.
I haven't transferred it yet. So yeah, it does take it a lot up. What's your etiquette with people recording their sets?
I could not care less as long as you're literally not like getting in the way of people who've paid to see the gig.
Yeah.
Like if you want to set up a tripod at the back, if you want to wear a little microphone,
Mm.
I don't care. If you want to do it, you can post it, you can film it, you can do what you want, but you know, just don't. Basically, the rule for everything is just don't be a twat. That's my overarching thing is don't be a twat. So it's like as long as you're not affecting someone else's set. Like, for example, I don't want you to come off stage and you're sat at the back watching your set back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no, no, no. I wholeheartedly get that. And the other one as well, because I record my sets, it's have it ready before you go on stage.
Yeah, don't be fannying about when I've announced you. Like,
Yeah,
just come on stage, like, get it ready, prepped, and
yeah.
get on and go.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. So we're running parts of punchlines. Okay, I'm gonna ask the two-parter. One, what has been your favourite moment? And what has been the worst moment someone's done on stage? And it's Andy
Oh.
Bell in a hazmat suit.
So I know who you're referring to. You're referring to Andy Bell, who's
I
gig I'm
am.
doing tonight.
Oh,
Who
was
is
that
this?
Parker's?
He no. So that was he. I'm pretty sure he started that at Spitfire in Stoke, and then he did it at the ill-fated gig. We did a gong show in Liverpool where all five of us went up together, and all five of us died on our ass.
Yeah. He said that it
Um,
was bomb, bomb, bomb.
yeah, and I think me, Jordan, and Ahmed got about 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes, and I think Andy Bell got 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think it was the hazmat suit. And I don't know if he's carried on. If he thought about it, he could make it work and put it in. But I feel like, yeah, it's a strange one with the hazmat suit. I do think it offers something unique. And the thing I love about Andy is Andy's willing to try things that other people are definitely not.
Mm.
So like he's willing to put a hazmat suit on for a reaction and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to go on and do my material. And my biggest thing, can I just remember the material I've just written? Whereas Andy's more than happy to go on and try stuff, which ultimately, as he goes on, will probably make him a better comedian than me. I'm going to have
Do
to
you know
get through
Joshua
this.
Holford?
Yeah.
I was speaking to him about this, and he said, "Oh, because he wore the hazmat suit on, he spoke to the MC to make sure he went on last, so he was in the suit as long as possible on a hot day." And I
Yeah.
just love that. I just love
It's
uh,
just little things like that where,
the northern shithousery. I love it.
yeah. And
It's
you just
just
got to try stuff.
it's banter off stage.
Yeah, yeah, and he's great at that. Whereas
Mm.
I don't know, that's not who I am. But there's nothing bad or good about it. I'd say the best moment for me was there's been a couple. So seeing 75 people on a Monday night in a bar that is usually pretty much dead, and the 75 people in a room upstairs with no aircon a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago, where we're announcing we've raised 1,600 quid
Mm.
for a guy who's known around the area. That was pretty fucking special for me.
Yeah.
But I'd say the first Bayhorse gig, because that was the first paid gig we put on, and at the time, so we've recently stopped working together. Nothing, we haven't fallen out or anything. We just decided that we'll stick to that gig together, but
Yeah.
ultimately we'll split up. But Ben Kennelly, who I've worked with quite closely for the last few gigs, me and him stood on stage at the end of our first paid gig where a venue has put trust in us to put on a show, has paid us money to put on the show. And we stood there at the end and got standing ovations and thanked everyone. And we sold out the gig on the first time. And we stood there with our arm around each other, just looking at each other, going, fucking hell, we did it.
Yeah.
That was an insane moment. And
Yeah.
I know I'm talking about like I've been on live at the Apollo and it's like incredible, but like someone took a chance on us there and paid us a decent amount of money to put on a show,
Yeah.
and we did it and we pulled it off. And don't get me wrong, we had dropouts at the last minute. We had a guy who couldn't get back from Edinburgh. I had to have the host go on and do it. We were juggling 15 different things. We didn't know how to, like, I'm setting up the tables and chairs. I'm redoing it because I feel like this would work better than that. And just everything like that. I'm sort of like the speaker stopped working at one point, the microphone stopped working, and just getting through it all and everyone standing and applauding us.
Mm.
That was fucking incredible. Like it was, and yeah, it was a really good night. So shout out to Ben as well. Like Ben, me and Ben did a really good job on that gig. Like we smashed it.
I always say, because yeah, I partied in my past. There is no drug as euphoric as being on stage and everything just working out and just everything, just that
Yeah.
moment of pure ecstasy where everyone's just staring at you, laughing, and in your case, laughing, clapping, and applauding something that you have put your heart and soul into.
Yeah, and
It's
we had
pure
everyone coming up
ecstasy.
to us going, like, when's the next one? Like, can I buy tickets now? Like pre-booking
Mm.
tickets. Like we're fucking Hot Water Comedy Club,
Yeah.
the best in the country. Like we're two lads putting on a gig at
Mm.
the Bay Horse in Whitefield that 2 weeks ago was just a dream, and now we've managed to pull it off. And people coming up to us going, "I love that set." Like I did a bit about, I did an MMA fight and lost, and my whole set's about it. And then you've got people like pissed up, shadow boxing me, remembering lines that I've said and like remembering my set. And that's like probably the first time I've left somewhere and someone's gone, "That joke, I remember that. I told my mate that." And like they came to the next one and was like, "Hey, here's the UFC fighter. Like, what are you going to talk about tonight?" And it was just, yeah, it's just nice that it was probably the first time we all got recognition and people remembered us. And it was, we were treated like, before then, if someone called me a comedian, like I'd be like, "Comedian." Like I'd be like, "Oh, you're a comedian," and my line would always be, "Trying."
Yeah.
Whereas after that gig, I was like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm a comedian." Like from now on,
Own
I'm a
it.
comedian.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna own this shit.
So what would you say, your long-term plans are for Parkas and Punchlines?
Uh, so I've never said this to anyone, so you'll get an exclusive. So for me, I genuinely believe in the next 5 to 10 years, I'll own a comedy club. I don't know where it'll be. I've got an idea of where it'll be, and I've got massive opportunities next year already in the works. But ultimately, I feel like one day I will own a comedy club that is, and I will build it, preferably somewhere near Bury as well, because we don't really have much to shout about in this town. So I do genuinely believe in the next 5, 10 years, I will be the owner of a comedy club. May not make it as a comedian as far as I want. Hopefully, I do. Hopefully, I can do both. But I think I will own a comedy club in the next 5 to 10 years. In the meantime, I just want every single gig to go well. It's like a boxer. I don't look past my opponent. Like every single show is just what am I going to do to make the next one great? If something comes from that, great. But the only focus is on, for now, the focus is on Plough on the Moor, and that's on the 29th. So that's my only one.
Okay. And to for the final tag, Reece, why should I, as a punter, come to Parkas and Punchlines?
Because, well, the music's fucking quality. There's an indie vibe with some decent music, alternative and indie music. I put a lot of effort into producing the show. It's not half-assed, so there's a flow to the show. All you need to do is turn up and be ready to laugh, because I've handled everything else for you. I always book acts I know are going to smash it, and by doing it, you're going to support not only comedy, but you're going to support local comedians that are coming up on the scene that you're probably not going to see anywhere else unless you're going to open mics or lower level shows. So you're going to see comedians that I know for a fact, if you come to one of my shows in 5 years' time, you're going to go to the Frog and Bucket and you're going to pay 3 times the price to go and see them headline. That's my honest opinion. So why don't you come and see him and support him and be able to say, "I knew that guy before he was famous," and that's what you're going to get at my show.
I mean, yeah, that's absolutely awesome. And obviously, if you want to, look into Parks and Recreations, just go on to whatever bloody way it is, the description, and it'll all be linked in there, people. All right, Reece, thank you ever so much, bravo. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you, dudes.
Thank you so much for having me on, mate. Honestly, and keep doing what you're doing. You're fucking smashing it, and I love that you're raising the profile of people that don't often get invited onto podcasts. So genuinely, thank you.
No way. Well, the thing is, though, everyone always looks. The reason why I started this is because everyone looks at like the finished articles, but they don't look at the grueling journey people have to go through to get there.
Yeah, you've got a similar, like everything I've said, it feels like you're trying to do as well with this, which is genuinely amazing to see. Like we need positive people shining a light on people in this game. So thank
North
you.
and South are in harmony.
Exactly. For one night only.
Yeah, for one night only. Fuck you know. Reece, much love, bro, man. That's been awesome, dudes.
Thank you so much, lad.